Dust Creek, New Mexico Territory, late summer 1887. The wind carried heat and grit across the open plains, rattling the wooden slats of the small train platform. Dust Creek barely earned its name on any map. Just one general store, one saloon, and a rail line that stopped when it remembered. The sun hung low, throwing long, gold-tinted shadows across the dry earth. With a hiss of steam, the locomotive screeched to a halt. The doors groaned open, and out stepped a young woman whose boots still shone with fresh polish. Her traveling dress was far too fine for a place like this, her gloved hands wrapped tightly around a small brown suitcase. Amanda Whitmore blinked against the glare, scanning the platform. There was no welcoming party, no carriage, no sign with her name. The letter she carried, months old, its ink blurred by time, had promised a man named Walter would meet her in the town of Creekstone. She checked the map again, though the tear through the county lines made it nearly useless. Amanda stepped off the platform, skirts brushing the dust, heart pounding. Was this even the right place? Then, morning came early in Dust Creek, the sun spilling over the prairie like molten gold. The Cooper Ranch was humble. Patched walls, a barn leaning slightly, a well that groaned when pulled too fast. The air smelled of coffee and sun-baked earth. Amanda sat stiffly on a chair, sipping from a chipped cup, while Olivia carefully buttered cornbread at the table. The girl hadn't stopped smiling since dawn. Outside, Randy split kindling, the rhythmic crack of his axe echoing against the quiet land. Amanda's eyes wandered to the mantel, where a small, fading photograph rested in a carved wooden frame, a woman with soft eyes and a familiar warmth. "My mama," Olivia said suddenly, catching Amanda's gaze. Her name was Lily. She used to sing at bedtime. I don't remember the songs, but I remember her hands. They were soft. Like yours. Amanda's throat tightened. Do you miss her? Olivia nodded solemnly. Every day. Papa says missing someone means they mattered. Days passed, and Amanda began to feel the quiet pull of life on the Cooper Ranch. She learned to cook over a wood stove, mended clothes, and braided Olivia's hair each night. She even sang an old lullaby she barely remembered, rocking the girl to sleep in the creaky chair Randy had repaired long ago. Randy watched quietly from the doorway, seeing the way Amanda filled the house with warmth he hadn't realized was missing. One evening, Amanda noticed her torn dress strap had been mended with perfect, careful stitches. You fixed this, she said, surprised. Randy only shrugged. Figured it kept slipping off your shoulder. She smiled faintly. It did. Thank you. At supper, Amanda noticed the once wobbly chair was steady now. You fixed the chair too, she murmured. Randy looked away. Didn't want you falling during dinner. The lamp flickered between them, warm and golden. Their hands brushed as they reached for the water pitcher. Neither spoke, but the air felt charged with something unspoken. Then came the letter. Delivered by horseback from the next town over, it bore the familiar handwriting of Amanda's intended groom. She read it once, then again. He had changed his mind. Said her delay was too long, the arrangement no longer suited him. Amanda stood motionless, the letter crumpling in her grip. He never even met me, she whispered. And still I wasn't enough. She walked out into the yard, letting the wind whip her skirts, staring at the endless sky. That night, Amanda packed her bag quietly. Randy's sister Eleanor arrived the next day, sharp, elegant, and full of opinions. She swept through the house, criticizing the curtains, the floor, even Amanda's presence. This house needs a woman with vision. Olivia's fever began that night. She would not eat or drink, only clutch the half-finished scarf Amanda had left behind. She's just tired, Eleanor said dismissively. Randy sat by his daughter's bed, jaw tight. She hasn't slept since Amanda left, he said quietly. She was just a guest, Eleanor replied. It's time to think about what's best for this family. Randy stood slowly, his voice like iron. You're not part of this family, and you never will be. Eleanor's eyes widened, but Randy was already moving, saddling his horse. By the time he reached the station, the train was ready to leave. Amanda stood at the edge of the platform, suitcase in hand. Amanda, spring came early that year. Beneath the sprawling oak tree at the edge of the Cooper land, 3 people stood together. No preacher, no crowd, no rings. Just a man, a woman, and a little girl who had prayed for them both. Amanda's dress was simple, Stitched from scraps Olivia had insisted on sewing herself. "It's not perfect," Amanda had whispered. "It's perfect because it's yours," Randy had said. He took her hands, his voice low. "I can't fix the world, Amanda, but I can fix chairs, fences, and if you let me, I'll fix every part of your heart that was ever told it wasn't enough." Amanda's throat tightened. "I do,"